description.
살아나도 천리로다 육로로도 천리로다 이 천리 들어가서 양태견는 저처자야.
All right, hey, this is Hans, and it's time for yet another episode of, what do you call it? Instant Noodle Recipe Time? Yeah. This is a show where I show you what to do with your instant noodles. Today we've got one made in South Korea, packaged for the U.S. market. This is Buldak Yakisoba. This one was a bit of a surprise, and I'll tell you why. So I've reviewed this before in a previous, yeah, 1, 2. There was another version of this that I got from a friend in Australia that she sent over a while back. Right before, it was before it was available here in the United States. And so I was stoked. I reviewed it. But this version is different from that. It's missing a sachet. If you look at my other review, if you're looking at this on the review, you'll see that I have a link to the previous review. There was stuff on top of here. It was kind of like a gelatinous, jammy kind of goo. Like a lot of the time, if you get yakisoba, the noodles are thinner. It's a 3-minute cook time, kind of short for Buldak. But yeah, like today, I'm going to use mayo. Mayonnaise on noodles, that's crazy. No, it's pretty standard actually. But yeah. They omitted that for sale in the United States and possibly Canada as well. Why? I have no idea. Maybe it had an ingredient in it. What is the one they like to get picky about? E621? Disodium phosphate? Disodium guanylate? I can't remember which one it is, but there's one that we get picky about here where they don't anywhere else. And there are ones that are here that everybody else is picky about, but we let slide. It's really strange about the rules on included ingredients. But whatever. The one you hear a lot about is TBHQ, tetrabutylhydroquinone, something like that. The amount that they use as a stabilizer and as a preservative in instant noodles is such a freaking fraction of a billionth of a scratch that it works really well, and you don't need much of it. Like, you need a microscopic amount, and it does wonders. People are like, oh, they gave it to rats and they died. It's like, well, yeah, because they gave them a huge amount. You'd die from the sodium from eating as many instant noodles as it would take to ingest enough of that TBHQ stuff to be a problem. Like, literally, you would have to eat like 10,000 packs to get the dosage that they were giving to rats. So, but people will jump all over that and say, see, this is why people get sick, and this is no. The other one, the one that's like the best example of crap like that. So smoke is caustic, not caustic. It's cancer causing, right? Well, if you barbecue something, if you have like smoked chicken, it's got that in it. So there was a smoked fish. It's called katsuobushi, and it was in an instant noodle variety. And all of a sudden, there was a report. It's like a microscopic amount of this, but it's pretty standard stuff. And yeah, I mean the smoke in it. Oh, so like Philippines, all these countries refused packages. They took them off the shelves and destroyed them, and it was just the stupidest thing in the world. It was a Korean product, and what was the worst, it was the Korean FDA that came out with this report. It's like, well, yeah, it's got this stuff in it, but it shouldn't be a problem. But oh my God, everybody flipped out about this, and it was a big problem for the company that it affected. Which just goes to show, it's like, if you just start blabbing about all these different ingredients that really aren't a problem, but in huge amounts could be, and act like, I don't know, people freak out. That's what they do. You gotta admit, you've seen it on the video and the radio. People freaking out. People freak out. Okay, draining. Since this is yakisoba, you really want to drain this one. This isn't a saucy buldak. I mean, granted, it's got yakisoba buldak sauce in it, which should be interesting because, for one, yeah, this sauce is much thinner. I can tell, which is fine. It should have that standard tamarind kind of thing going on, but it'll also have that buldak element. See how thin that is? Yeah. And that's why the noodle's thin too, because yakisoba doesn't have a thick, chewy ramen to contend with. There's yaki udon. All it means. So yaki, fried. Soba, the type of noodle. Udon, type of noodle. So, there's your info lesson of the day if you didn't already know that. But for yakisoba, this is pretty quick cooking. I would say if you were making this recreationally, I'm making this for a review and following the instructions. But if you're making this recreationally, I would say do this in a frying pan. Because this is not, I mean, it's a fried noodle, sure, but usually you do it in a wok or you do it, There's our noodle. Cheers. I really like the cabbage. That heat is weird though. It's really weird. I mean, it's just like a smack of heat. It's not really giving me any throat feeling, but it's definitely like the front of my mouth is hot and it just seems like, whoa, what's that doing there? It's very strange. Anyways, it's good though. I like this. I'm going to use this plate. Since this stuff is really dark. You know what's funny is it kind of looks like if somebody said, is this yakisoba or is it jajang? I would lean towards this has obviously got to be yakisoba, I would think, from the thickness of the noodle. Usually a jajang is going to be much thicker noodle. But it definitely looks the part in colorifics. It's not bad. I really like the yakisoba flavor. Usually though, yakisoba just is not a spicy affair. And if you don't like spicy, you're going to see what I'm going to do. And you'll like it. You know why? Because I said you will. Don't you ever. There you go. Gotta balance it out a little bit. What we got next? Ah, yes. The incredible right there. Whoa, uh-oh. Okay. The incredible edible egg, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, we've got to do the magic trick. It's really not the magic trick. I'm going to cut off the corner of this. One moment. There. So it's just a Ziploc bag with mayo in it. See? And now the Ziploc bag with mayo in it is a fine, precise, I mean, I could have done a better job of this. That's a little wide. But as you will see in a moment, it's a piping bag. There you go. And then it came out pretty good, I think. Kind of has a color offset. Little seed. And honestly, I think what would look nice on this too, if I could find it, there's my little vial. I've got some shichime. So I'm just going to take a little handful of it. Right there. I'm going to sprinkle it around where the mayo's at. A nice little sprinkle. And that is yakisoba. So, there you go. All right, well, that's it for me. The next one you're going to see is probably going to include some chicken because I got leftover chicken. So with that, this has been Hans the Ramen Raider wishing you enjoyment of your noodles each and every day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.